We've just talked to many, many couples over the years who say, well, if we don't have spontaneous sex, it isn't real. How in the world can you plan sex?
And why should we? They say if
Yeah,
it's not spontaneous, it isn't really good.
it doesn't count.
It doesn't count. And then look at people's lives. They've got business and jobs and children and housekeeping. And it was okay when we were dating and we didn't have any distractions. But now we've got a life.
I want to go back to that. It's so important, and this is my comeback when I'm working with people. Well, didn't you date very consciously when you first got together? You would call up and say, I'd love to take you to dinner Friday night. I'll pick you up at 8 o'clock. And it was very conscious, not spontaneous, calling at the last moment and hoping you could do it. And it worked perfectly. And there's this switch after we get married or start living together where now all these other things are important, and we can't have sex. Dates, planning it. Ugh!
Well, okay, let's turn it around. You make a date for a week from now, let's say. You have the entire week to anticipate getting together and what that might be like. And maybe you'll leave little notes or whisper things in your partner's ear about how excited you are. Look at the build-up, at what we call foreplay. When does foreplay start? It could start a week before the date. And now here's the day of the date. And the kids are gone, the phones are turned off, and the entire preparation for your date is part of the date. You set the stage by bringing candles in and flowers, maybe fruit. You have your favorite music together. You shower, you help one another dress. Everything is a beautiful and sacred preparation for this time together, which we call time out of time.
Time out of time, where you and your partner are all that's important. The phone is off, the kids are handled, and just like it was when we started dating, the focus is right into you, my partner.
You know, I think it's important also to allow for transition time from daily life into that really deep, intimate connection. You do have to transit and move into you and me and you. And
Absolutely.
the final thing I'd like to say that we find important is no agendas. You want to say something about that?
I'd like you to talk about it because you have such a sweet story about that.
My favorite date, no agendas. You might
Many
think,
years ago.
we have to get to the passionate part. Many years ago, I was under a lot of stress. I don't remember what it was. And it was snowing outside, and we had candles lit in the room, and there were flowers and music. And I just broke down and cried. And Orv held me and told me that I was magnificent. And that is the date I will always remember.
And there was no sex, but a lot of connection
And a lot of play.
and a lot of play.
So let the agendas go and just see what happens. The important part is your connection. You'll live to be together again.
You betcha.